To another teacher talk session tonight. Tonight we are going to have our 99th session. Yes, just one session left for the 100th session. Tonight we are going to have another educator from Turkey, different educator from Turkey, and she's Merve Basmaz, and she's CELTA certified English language instructor and material developer and ELT Content Specialist at Unlimited Educational Services. When she comes, we are going to start our live session with her. I think there she is. So let me invite her, and then we are going to start our live sessions. Before that, I would like to say that so sorry that we had some technical problems, but we are going to have our live sessions finally. Let's start. Let me invite her. I have invited her. Yes, we can't see you, Merve hocam. Only can hear. Hello?
Hello.
We can hear you but can't see.
Well, that's thing.
Yes, we can see you.
Sorry.
Yeah, fine.
Sorry about that. Oh, thank God.
No problem. All right then, no problem. We fixed our problem. It's okay. It's wonderful now. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great to see you, Merve hocam. Really.
Right.
Yeah, we
I was
made
never
it.
so happy to see myself on the camera before.
we are all happy to see you also. Too.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, and
It's okay, no
you know,
problem.
all happens on these days.
No problem. These things can happen because we are using technology, and technology
Exactly.
sometimes makes us funny jokes. But this is a kind of a jokes too from technology.
Exactly.
All right,
Thank
no
you.
problem. So, Merve hocam, before starting our live sessions, I would like to say thank you to accept my invitation for teacher talks, and being with our guest.
Oh, thank you to, you know, let me participate in that talks. I really love them and really like follow them. And all these teachers, and including you, they will really give me like great feedback and great like valuable ideas. I was really fan of it actually, and it was really great to be a part of it right now.
It's wonderful.
It's really good.
It's a great pleasure for us to have you here. Okay, so I know that you are busy. We are all busy, so if you are ready, we can start.
Sure.
Okay then. I know about you, but maybe our audiences would like to know about you. So can you tell us about yourself a little bit and a bit about your experiences too?
Sure. Let me like summarize it up very briefly. This is my 8th year of teaching. Actually, my teaching career, I graduated from Bilgi University ELT department. First, I moved on to teaching preschoolers because I really loved young learners and all these, you know, storytelling and drama and everything. I was really into that. And I kept, you know, teaching them like for 4 or 5 years. Then I moved on to academic studies. I worked with prep students. That was also a great experience actually, because they were very interesting in age gap between not being an adult but not yet an adolescent. So it was an interesting experience. And then it was very incidental that during COVID time, one of my ex-colleagues called me that they needed a part-time kind of, you know, material developer for this digital project. Then I got into that, you know, as a part-time. Then, you know, it continued as a full-time, and the project, you know, followed another one. It was really incidental, but it was actually one of my plans to create something. The idea of creating something from scratch and helping teachers. Was one of my goals, and currently I'm like writing digital projects and also helping the team, the Unlimited Educational Services team, with the, you know, new project and the products.
So wonderful.
So
It's great.
basically, that's it.
It's great that you're working with a really great, how can I say, great companies like Unlimited Educational Services. We know
Yeah.
about it, and they are really great. They have wonderful materials, wonderful books, and they are giving a great service. Thank you, Merve Hocam. All right, so let's move to the another question. So, what was your or were your turning point or points in your own education?
Actually, I have two. First one was when I was in university, actually, like after a couple of months in my first year at BG, because I studied English in high school just because I loved English, because it was, my English grades were always good, and it was just like I loved the language, but I didn't know what to do with it. I was not very serious about teaching in a way. Like I wasn't sure about what I'm going to do and what my future job will be. But I knew that English was going to be a part of it. But at the first weeks, when I started university lessons, maybe I should call them like workshops or trainings, because we had great trainings, like great workshops, and I was really puzzled when I saw that lesson, because unfortunately I was educated with really teacher-centered lessons, and when I kind of saw that different kind of learner-centered lesson, I was really like, I was thinking, what is this? I mean, it looks so fun, but it's not, like I was thinking, like, why doesn't teacher just tell us, just teach us, why are we doing these activities? It's so unfortunate that I learned that when I was 18. It's a late age, I think, but then I realized that teaching is actually a job that you can do anything. Like, you can be very creative. If you have no idea, if you actually change your ideas about your dream job, actually teaching is a great job for you, because every week you can be someone else. So that's I understood how dimensional is it. I really loved it. That was my first turning point. And my second turning point was when I started, creating my first, writing my first materials, because I had a great mentor at Unlimited Educational Services, and she really helped me to see in the lesson in a way that we can both, be in the shoes of teacher and learner. And I thought that, like, how can I really do my best and make this great, this material great for teachers and the students. And sometimes we get some videos from schools that while they were using our materials, and I saw the students and everything. It's just like a dream come true, because I was thinking, yes, I was thinking about that. I was planning while I was writing that. I was planning the scene and this whole, the atmosphere of the lesson. So that was my second one, I can say.
Wonderful.
And I will have more in the future, probably. Yeah.
Probably you will have. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so wonderful. But that the turning points are really important in our lives. Really, it teaches us. Really, it teaches us. It shows us really the good things and sometimes the bad things. But we get some experience about them. Definitely.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much to share your experiences with us, Merve Hocam. Okay, so you said that you have been teaching almost like 7 or 8 years. You just said it.
Yeah, this
So
is my 8th year.
Yeah, probably you have a kind of, the philosophy about teaching. So what is it? And what is your philosophy of teaching?
Yeah, actually last year I was helping with a doctorate student, and she was like preparing these kind of questions, and she told me like, what is teaching, and I answered her like, I think being a teacher, like, you are a professional student. You are a student, but you get paid monthly. So I felt like that for a teacher, because like my philosophy is just like that. I'm always a learner. I never felt that like I'm very experienced. Yes, I feel that I'm experienced, but I'm still a learner. Still, I have lots of things to learn, and I don't really, there is no there's no there are no boundaries between students and teachers. We are all actually can be students and teachers at the same time. We kind of switch roles in
That.
that part.
I
So
see.
that's my philosophy actually.
I see. It's like I always say that, like, if you stop learning, you stop teaching. It's the kind of things that I always
Exactly.
supported.
Exactly.
So we're
Yeah.
lifelong learners. So we teach, we learn, and we learn, and we teach. It's kind of something going on like
Exactly.
this.
It's a cycle, right?
It's a kind of a cycle,
Right.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Merve Jam. Let me ask
You're
you
welcome.
another question. So we are in it 2020, but probably you have the kind of expectations from 2020, and actually we are almost in a when it's April, and we are almost going to start May.
Yeah.
But you have kind of expectations from 2020. So what are they? What are your expectations from 2022?
Well, actually, this last 3 years, especially after COVID, has been really hectic and really like people don't know what to expect and what's going to happen next. So there was a lot of anxiety, right? So actually, my biggest expectation to make make myself first a little bit calmer
Mm-hmm.
and like feeling much centered and like my teammates, and if I was teaching right now, I would say that I would make my student a little bit calmer and more like centered, a little bit more relaxed, because I think we all deserve that in the whole world, because not I wouldn't be so focused on the ambitions and everything, because yes, they we can do that, we have like time, but let's just focus on healing a little bit, focus
Uh-huh.
on ourselves, right? So that's my actually aim for this year, to a little bit more, listen to myself.
I see. So wonderful. It's a great, great aim to do
Yeah.
it. Good luck about it. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. All right then. So I know that you are working like UES, which Unlimited Educational Services. Can you tell us about
Yeah.
UES? So what type of company is it, and what kind of things you are doing? So how can you support teachers and students at UES?
Well, it's actually firstly it's a distributor of like world leading ELT products, ELT publishers like Richmond and Macmillan and HealthLink. That's the first thing, but it's also actually a producer. It's a digital company. It has digital materials, so it helps teachers and students and institutions with printed and digital materials. So it's not only a distributor, and as the name suggests, it's really unlimited, because we have the teacher, trainer, a team. We have like after you kind of provide the books, but after that, using the books, providing as best service as possible and using these materials as effective as possible. That's what actually the company really focuses on. So we kind of help teachers through the beginning of the year until the end, really.
I see. It's great. It's like just like you mentioned that, just like you have no limits about helping to the
Exactly.
teachers and the students and the institutions. You have no
Exactly.
limits. It's great. It's wonderful. I see. Okay. So, but let me ask you another questions. Like, how can teachers and students reach you for your materials? What should they do to get contact to you?
Well, actually, we contact to them first, but like it's actually a very like as for our schools, we actually never lose touch. We're always like connected, and we are always like improving. We have like digital materials, and those digital materials, and has their innovations and upgrades and everything. So we like keep up with them, and we also have Yeah, ELT Turkey and our digital products LMS system, and also the the books LMS system. And for the as you we like also experienced, there might be some technical problems, and they can reach the US support team whenever they want, and we provide service to them, and we kind of support them whenever possible.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Merve Hocam.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's move to another question. I know that there's a really is a common and a popular term, the digital age, and we are digitalizing and digital things we are using. So especially let's come to the digital storytelling. Is a kind of a term that we hear about most of the time. So, and I know that you are kind of interested in with digital storytelling. So, can you tell us about it? What is the digital storytelling?
I was actually interested in storytelling itself, and I'm really old-fashioned. I love books. I love the printed materials. I love big, giant storybooks and posters and everything. I love that. I think we should keep them. They're not going to be replaced by the digital version. But when I started digital materials, I had no idea about digital materials anyway. I knew that we can see them on screen. That was all I know. But when I kind of get into that, I kind of realized that there are a lot of tools, and they're really easy to use. You don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to do is to register them, and that's it. Just getting an Instagram account. It was so easy, and there were a lot of visual aids. They were pre-made anyway, so you didn't have to do anything yourself. You kind of use your imagination, but with the help of digital tools. So if you are very bad at drawing like me, if you're a teacher like that, you can use this. I mean, why not using those, right? They are already there, and they're great visual aids. The only thing that we used to use, the puppets, finger puppets, and the books, and story posters. These were our storytelling tools. They're replaced with tablets and big screens and computers. That's the thing. But storytelling phrase itself is the same. Just the visual aids actually has changed. That's storytelling is actually basically.
I see. I understand. Okay. So you just mentioned about it, but maybe would like to add anything about the benefits of digital storytelling. What are the benefits of it?
Well, the benefits, there are lots of actually great websites, which are also applications. And these, for example, Storyboard, that was one of my favorite and one of the first websites that actually discovered. The great advantage is that it gives kind of this creativity to teachers and learners without a lot of, tools. So all you need to do is just choose a setting, or choose some visual aids, and choose some characters, and you can modify them with all these alternatives and everything. And as I said, you don't have to you don't need to draw anything, but you can also you can still use your imagination, but just seeing those alternatives will give you some idea. And also there is this thing called digital literacy, right? Right now it is a very necessary skill for us. Just it's vital for teachers to teach learners that, because they need to know it. They need to know what to do, how to produce something, how to make digitalization productive, just not only using social media or anything. I mean, that's okay, but that's not actually digital knowledge anyway. So they need to create something. They need to kind of build up their creative thinking skills. So it is good for them to, practice and make some projects. And it's also very time-saving, as I experienced myself. And it's also very motivating, especially some students. They just, when they see those great websites, great visual aids, they really get motivated, and it seems so easy to them. It seems that yes, I can do that. You know, I can create some things. All I need to
Wonderful.
do is just have a look at it.
I see. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Merve
Oh,
Hocam. But is it possible to tell us some tools for creating
mhm.
digital stories? Just like a couple. And are they easy to use? And maybe how long does it take to create a story, the digital story?
Right. As I mentioned before, storyboard that, and there is also a website called Imagine Forest, and there is also another called Padlix. These are all actually some of the websites that I myself, created an account. What you need to do is that, as I said, you need to create an account. Then you need to there are free versions and there are premium versions, but free versions are really like efficient, and like you can do a lot of things without actually going switching into premium account. And the free versions are, as I said, like really sufficient. What you need to do is just to create your character. There are pre-made characters there, but you can draw or you can upload, your own visuals there, and you can just create your setting, or you can just choose one of the settings there, and you can just arrange the such style of speech bubbles. Then you need to type, and because the story itself you're going to
Uh-huh.
write it, but about the visual aids you kind of get help from them. How long does it take? It really depends on your story.
Depends
It
on
can
story.
take like
Exactly.
yeah, like maybe half an hour. If you're going to write as two pages story, or it can take like 2 months. It really depends on the story. But the story setting and the all the characters and everything, when the student imagines something to develop that theme and the process and everything, you kind of like spend time there. You kind of have to, look at the characters and setting. You kind of have to think about it. So, as I said, I wouldn't give it a time. It really depends on your own story writing and telling experience.
No, I see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Mm-hmm.
Merve Hocam. Merve Hocam, you just mentioned you just said kind of a term like with digital literacy. You said it. So
Yeah.
can you
Mm-hmm.
can you make us a little bit more clear, like what is digital literacy and why is it
Mm-hmm.
important for students and the teachers?
I think it should be, it should have been made clearer, because right now it's kind of a confused subject, because like we all think that we have digital literacy, which we don't. But we use social media and digital materials like technology and everything, but that's not digital literacy. It's digital literacy is much more sophisticated than that. But it's actually very simple. You need to use like technological tools. For example, you can search something on Google, but you need to know where to search, and which knowledge and which information is confidential, which is not actually true. You kind of have to compare the information. You kind of have to review and reflect on the
Uh-huh.
information that you found on the net, and then you kind of create or write or whatever you're going to do with that information and turn it into a productive way. So that's digital literacy. Actually, these storytelling tools is one of the examples of digital literacy, because you use it and you make it your own and you create something from it. It's not like you just use it. You
I
are
see.
not the passive user. You are doing, but you're an active user. You create something, just your own product, right? So that's basically what digital literacy is. So the students need to know how to get benefit from these tools.
These tools, I see. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you very much. And we all
You're
talking we all talking about kind of digital literacy and digital storytelling, kind of a reading, like support students and provide them
welcome.
lots of digital materials. So, but how can we build? It's really hard, especially for the students, to make them read. So, how can we
Right.
build reading habit? so and teach reading skills in EFL classrooms?
Yeah, actually, that was one of my second project at UES was about a reading platform, and I was really excited about that because I knew that no one was really get into teaching reading in the lesson, because I kind of learned reading skills like skimming, scanning when I was in university, which was way too late to learn that, even in my own mother tongue. And I was really puzzled when I found that out. I should have known them earlier, right? This is one of our weaknesses, I think, in education system, not only in English, not only in ELT, but in general. But the thing is that we put reading materials in to our students as something to do, as a task, like a homework. But reading itself is something to be done for pleasure, really. It's a hobby. But yes, it needs kind of discipline to, get that hobby, get that, in order to make it your own habit and routine.
Exactly.
But basically it's something that you need to love, right?
Definitely.
So I think first thing about when I thought about how to teach reading to kids, I was thinking a lesson, like a whole class reading experience. But how students read, it was always like perceived as a passive process, but it's not like passive. You don't just look at the words and read and read and read. Your mind should be active. It should be asking questions. You should be making guesses. It should be like a festival going on there. It should be something like that. I was imagining your brain while you were reading, actually, and I was trying to get that activeness into the lesson. So if we teach reading in the class with like page to page, sentence to sentence, well, we're just like storytelling, really, but with a kind of guided questions for students, so they can make guesses, so they can maybe change the ending, or they can even comment that I didn't like this book. That's even fine, but make it a whole class activity. After we teach reading, and after that they get kind of these reading skills, they know how to read and which skills they need to use for the purpose of that they are reading. Then they can decide which kind of books they like, and they can be active readers and smart readers, actually, because they're not going to like any books, but that's their own choice. But at least they know how to read, which is really important. So that's was my aim, and I hope that I kind of a little bit, I get that with the project of the company.
I hope you will successful about it. Yeah, it's really hard job to make them love reading, to make them read not only at school, especially the extensive reading is really difficult for us to make them read. Yeah, it's really difficult. But I hope your project works.
Thanks. Well, in extensive reading, of course, like it's not enough. There's not enough time to actually make it as a school routine for extensive reading, because it's extensive. Exactly. But it is really important, and you see the results really like it. It will take time. You don't see the results like immediately. It takes time.
Thank you very much, Hocam.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's move to other different types of questions. Okay, so can you tell us 5 phrasal verbs that you use in your classes or daily life?
Well, I would while I was teaching, actually, I had this kind of mottos for my students, especially for university students, because they tend to get demotivated for like a lot for many different reasons during the day. I would say them like keep on,
Keep on.
and lighten up.
Lighten up. Okay.
What else? Let me think. I would say uh, cheer up.
Cheer up.
And yeah. What else? I can't think of any.
Keep on. Light up. Cheer up.
Right.
2 more.
Also count on yourself, actually.
Okay. Count on.
Yeah.
And one more.
Well, do I have one more?
Yeah,
Okay.
one more.
Well, sometimes, not always, but speed up.
Yeah,
because
speed up.
they were,
Okay,
like
wonderful. It's a
sometimes you
wonderful
need to
5
speed up.
phrasal verbs. Excellent.
Right.
Great. Keep on, light up, and speed up,
Cheer up.
and count down, and cheer up. Wonderful. Thank you very much. It's a great, nice
You're welcome.
phrasal verb. Thank you. Okay, let's move to another one. So, can you tell us 5 adjectives this time that describe an effective language teacher?
Yeah, not only language teacher, but
Okay,
also
you can
like
say
just
general.
But teacher should be patient.
Patient.
First of all, like foreseen, because
Okay.
these this job is not, you don't see the result right away. You need to kind of plan the future. Organized, definitely.
Really organized.
Approachable, I would say.
Okay.
And positive, however
I see.
hard it is.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Approachable and positive.
Let's count one more time. Can
Yeah.
you say it again? You said
Approachable, organized,
organized,
positive.
positive.
What else? I forgot. Patient. And there was one more, right? Right. Foreseen.
Yeah, foreseen. Yes, wonderful. Great. Thank you very much, Hocam. It's wonderful adjectives.
You're welcome.
So we put in our packet 5 phrasal verbs and the 5 adjectives. Wonderful today.
Yeah.
Nice one. Okay, so I really wonder what I'm going to say about this question. This is really interesting. So if you could have one superpower to use in the classroom, what would it be and how would it help?
I think it would be like I really wanted my students to see themselves, like realize themselves, because most students, as I observe, like really have this self-confidence issue, and they don't really believe in themselves. They should be. I want it to be like a mirror that they can see the reflect of themselves, so that they can see how amazing they are. So that would be great, because when they understand that they can do anything and they can achieve anything, that would be like the biggest step towards learning.
Definitely.
That would be great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice superpower. Thank you, Merve Hocam. I'm sure that they would like it probably.
Yeah. At first it would be like a little bit scary, but then they would probably.
After they use it, it won't be a problem for them. Okay then. So let's move to another question which is related with the ELT world. If you had a chance, this is a very critical question, by the way. You are working in the ELT world. If you had a chance to change one thing in the ELT world, so what would it change and why?
Well, I wouldn't go into all these financial issues, because that's how the world is. Because it won't be any, I cannot change all these things. But I would like to not having too much, prejudice on non-native teachers. As a teacher and as a material developer, because I'm writing actually materials for teachers, and as a non-native teacher, the credibility can be questioned. Of course, as non-native teachers, we have this language issue. It's not our mother tongue, but that doesn't mean that we can be great teachers and we can be great material developers. So I think that this prejudice kind of right now questioned anyway. It's this problem is kind of getting criticized and getting taken some steps to be solved.
Uh-huh.
But still there is, like there is this native teacher. There are like people are insisting on having a native teacher, which you can, but the thing that's not the point,
I see.
when you are a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
being a native or a native is not the point. Good teacher is a good teacher, and the skills and the qualities are just really different, from your own nationality. There's just really no, that's not the case.
I
So I
see.
would like that prejudice just go away.
Okay, so
Yeah.
wonderful point that you mentioned. Thank you very much, Merve Hocam. Okay, so probably, Merve Hocam, the people, I mean, like you train some people, you give some advices, and you talk about your good experiences, especially teaching experiences. But this time, I would like to ask you vice versa. Can you tell us
Mhm.
one of your not bad, but maybe challenging teaching experiences in your
Yeah.
career?
Yeah, I would say that like inefficient maybe, or could have been better, but all those bad things that actually lead to my improvement. And like actually my first lessons, especially in preschool, I was a new teacher, and kindergartners, it was a mess. But I didn't see it like a bad experience because they were having fun. But at some point while I was teaching in preschool, the syllabus and all the projects and everything, the presentations, it was really actually busy. Even the preschool, like English lessons are really busy, and the syllabus is all full. And at one point, I found myself that I was teaching too much, and they were not having fun. That's why they were bored. I thought there was something missing in those lessons. Yes, I was teaching and teaching and teaching, but there were no like games, and there were nothing to build a rapport with the students. So I kind of missed that. I thought that I was doing something good, but that was not the point actually, because like less is more. So I thought that, maybe less on teaching, but more on, making them love the lesson, love the experience,
I see.
because it was really difficult and long term. They're not going to be interested in the lesson. They're going to lose their interest. Just forever, and I would want that, because that was their first English experience, so valuable,
Uh-huh.
really, and such a great responsibility, because you'd never forget the first time, right? So it was really difficult for me to get back to a little bit fun version of the lessons, but I was kind of lucky enough to realize that. But the student also made me realize anyway, because they don't stand still when they are bored. So I could say that that was not a very good experience. I could have picked that out earlier, maybe.
I see. I understand.
Right.
It's very interesting. It's very fun, and it's a kind of a
Mhm.
challenging experience for you. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Merve, really, to share
You're
your
welcome.
experience with us here. Thank you. Okay, so my next question is really, I think, kind of a little bit the critical question. Like,
Mhm.
what kind of people would you like to work with? And do you think
Mhm.
characteristics of colleagues affect the working
Mhm.
environment?
Well, for me, actually, it was. I'm kind of lucky, because the people that I would like to work with is the people I'm currently work with anyway. So, but I have always been very lucky when I think about it. Like when I think about all my experience as a teacher. I had the chance to work with really good teachers and good people, really, and
Wonderful.
it's it's a good combination, because characteristic is really important, as you mentioned. But the thing is, like being a teacher or being a trainer or material developer or whatever, this is a job that you need help constantly. You need feedback. You need someone to ask questions to, and that the thing that the other teachers don't judge you. They kind of support you fully. They give constructive feedback, not just you know feedback for, just criticizing you. This is very important. So building that rapport, building that relationship, and knowing that you're not going to be judged for a mistake, and knowing that you can actually give out and share the knowledge that you have or the idea that you have, so you can talk about it. There's nothing personal, just improving, really, just the ideas, without any judgment and without any nothing personal. It's just professional. So this is really important because I think, if I may do kind of self-criticism, in Turkey, is feedback is still kind of a sensitive issue. People tend to get it personal.
Exactly.
But observation, getting feedback is part of our jobs. We get feedback instantly, So there's nothing personal, just professional. You can still be friendly, but also, really honest, so that the work itself would be improved. So that's really important, being professional and, being, honest.
That's the point. Really good point that you mentioned. Thank you, Merve Hocam. All right, so just the 2 questions left, by the way, before ending our live session. So let's move to the next question. So think that we finished the interview, okay, and you step outside the house and find a lottery ticket that ends up with winning $10 million. What would you do? It's a huge money.
Well, yeah, I was thinking. Well, I would do a lot of things that not related to teaching, but about teaching, I would say that
I would quit.
I have a lot of ideas, right? I have a lot of ideas, especially for a story-based project, from preschool to middle school, just story-based lessons. So I would maybe start doing that, because all these illustrations I'm publishing, it needs a lot of money. And also, it's not related to teaching, but it's kind of my other hobby, we would say, or profession. I like writing, and I wrote a fiction, a novel. So maybe I would do something to publish that, because it also requires money. So yeah, I think I would do that. Yeah. And I would have a lot of leftover money, probably.
Wonderful. It's great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Merve Hocam, to share your ideas with us. Okay, so here is my last question. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your motto?
Motto. I would probably say, when you stop teaching, you stop learning. Kind of vice versa. Like, when you stop learning, you stop teaching. Yeah, I think that would be mine. As a, because I see myself a professional student, I learn and learn and learn, because it never ends. When you stop, learning, you stop teaching.
I see.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Merve Hocam. Okay, that's all my questions by my side, Merve Hocam. And before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else?
Well, I'm sorry about the inconvenience at the beginning. I don't know. Like, I really appreciate it. Actually, I really loved it. Really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, all the guests, and you, of course.
Thank you very much. Okay then. So, and I would like to, before ending our live sessions, and I would like to say one more time, thank you, Merve Hocam, to being with us tonight. And it was really fruitful sessions. I'm sure that, and we all, I mean, like the followers, they had learned something from you, and I learned lots of things from you. Thank you very much. And it was a lovely sessions. Okay, and with the tonight's sessions, the 99th sessions, Merve Basmaz was with us, and we had a really fruitful sessions. And it was great, and I hope you like it, because I like it and I loved it. It was really fantastic. And actually, at the beginning of it, we had some technical problems, as she mentioned, but that's not a problem. We live in a technology, so these things can happen anytime. Yeah. So it's not a problem. But finally, we made it. So that's the point. We made it, and we had a really great session. Okay, thank you very much. And as you know that Teacher Talks, next week we are going to have our 100 sessions. We have a surprise guest. I'm not going to tell you right now. You will learn it later. And until the next time, which is Teacher Talks time and day, and you know it, every Monday at the same time on the same day. And until the next time, Take care of yourselves. And wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. And peace, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Merve Hocam.
Bye bye. Thank you
See
very
you.
much. I love
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.